behind these walls, behind the razor wire in a 9x6 cell.
You know, everything in prison is made out of concrete. The floors, even the bed you sleep on is a concrete slab.
For the past 16 years, for his entire adult life, Damien Echols has been on death row.
And these people are trying to kill you, to sentence you to death for something you didn't do.
Echols has watched 20 men walk to their executions and knows he could be next, but at the same time feels closer than ever to getting a new trial.
I just try to stay calm, try to remain patient, and not get my hopes too high.
Echols is eager to talk about the case, even if it means reliving the past.
It's like being in absolute terror and being numb at the same time.
It was here, an adventure on their bikes, ending in a horrific nightmare for 3 little boys. Michael Moore, Stevie Branch, Christopher Byers, found bludgeoned, hogtied, and naked.
So tear me open, pour me out.
Police, prosecutors, and ultimately a jury of 12 said Echols, the ringleader, should die for the crime.
People seem to have an intrinsic trust in authority. So if authority figures tell you, we've got the person, then most people generally tend to believe it.
Also convicted, Echols' best friend Jason Baldwin and Jesse Miss Kelly Jr. Miss Kelly, who was borderline mentally retarded, confessed. Detectives called the 3 devil worshippers who killed the boys as part of an occult ceremony. A knife police say was likely used in the murders was found in a lake behind Baldwin's house.
And back then the murders were still fresh and everybody was scared, almost terrified. Everybody was in sort of a blind panic at the time, and it limited people's ability to use logic or to think.
But in the last year, forensic experts for the defense say turtles made the wounds on the boys, not a knife. Also, they say DNA from 2 hairs found on a shoelace used to tie up Michael Moore didn't belong to the West Memphis 3, rather to this man, Terry Hobbs, stepfather to victim Stevie Branch. The other hair, they say, linked to a friend Hobbs was with the day of the crime.
But technology has gotten to the point where they can find smaller and smaller trace amounts of DNA and do tests now that they couldn't do back then.
However, prosecutors dismissed the claims, saying the hairs could have easily been transferred to Moore simply by visiting Hobbs' home. Then last month, a new development. 3 witnesses, Hobbs' former neighbors, came forward after only recently learning that Hobbs told police he hadn't seen the boys at all that day. They say they saw him yelling for the boys to get back to the house. We reached out to Terry Hobbs, but he wouldn't comment. His lawyer, though, released a statement saying Echols' attorney is, quote, concerned only with falsely accusing Terry Hobbs of this crime to create an alternative suspect to assist his convicted clients. Still, even Hobbs' ex-wife, Pam, questions his possible involvement.
I really think West Memphis was rushed for conviction. They took 3 teenagers and convicted them. I would like for them to look at evidence that has been presented to the court the past couple of years versus the circumstantial evidence that convicted the 3 men that are in prison.
Mark Byers agrees. His son Christopher is one of the victims.
My faith in my heart and in my soul to every fiber that I have, that there's going to come justice one day, and those 3 are going to walk out of the Arkansas Department of Corrections.
West Memphis police refuse to comment, but stand by their statement that Hobbs is not a suspect. Echols just wants a chance to clear his name.
I get a little excited about, but at the same time, this has been drug out for so long in the past that it's not going to come to a conclusion quickly. I know that.
As for whether Echols supports the death penalty,
at times I think I would say, if you were to ask me that, I would say no, I absolutely don't believe in it. But then I also think, well, what about this clown who killed these 3 kids and left me sitting on death row for 16 and a half years for something he did? Would I want to see him on death row? And it's really hard, really hard for me to say no.
a double tragedy, he calls it, years come and gone. The patch of woods cleared, the crime scene unrecognizable. 3 victims' innocence taken. 3 convicted teens now in their 30s. Their future still undecided.